The ZX-14R is like a sumo wrestler with ninja skills. It's largely unupdated for over a decade, but today we'll get into what makes it one of the best bikes of 2025 and why you should buy one now before it's gone. Let's do work. We aim to give you the highest quality motorcycle reviews here, so subscribe to keep it locked in. The ZX-14R 40th Anniversary Edition pops with its retro lime green, pearl crystal white, and blue livery, a deliberate throwback to the early Ninja era. Now the bike I'm reviewing has full Brox exhaust, Pro Tune, and more. You'll hear this exhaust in this video, but I'll do a full exhaust review in another video. Under the fairings lives the infamous 1441cc inline 4, a direct overhead camshaft 16-valve liquid-cooled engine. It's fed by digital fuel injection with four 44mm Mikuni throttle bodies and drives a 6-speed gearbox through a chain final drive. The Kawasaki built this R generation by increasing stroke, revising the head and cams, and lightening the pistons, and it's been the company's naturally aspirated flagship power plant ever since. It's silky thanks to twin counterbalancers and brutal when you twist the throttle. Despite being almost 600 pounds, it will power wheelie with ease. Guys, you'll see me riding this ZX-14R while rocking these stylish and unbreakable Saint motorcycle jeans. They are truly a blend of cutting-edge protective tech, comfort, and style, and I'm putting a link at 15% discount code below and full review coming soon. At 197 horsepower stock and a quite enjoyable 117 pound-feet of torque, this bike will force a smile on your face every time you ride it, but the best thing is that this proven power plant leaves a lot on the table and can be tuned to unlock incredible power. This bike I'm riding is Pro Tune to the tune, no pun intended, of 209 horsepower to the wheels, or about 232 base horsepower estimated with a conservative 10% drivetrain loss. One of my requirements for a bike is for it to have big highway passing power. The ZX-14R graduates summa cum laude here. I rocketed endlessly around slow cagers on this bike and enjoyed every moment of getting thrown back in my seat every time. What surprised me most was how smooth it is. Thanks to twin counterbalancers, there's no harsh vibration. Around town, it's docile and easy to manage, but open it up and it transforms into a literal rocket ship. This bike rips. I know I have a lot of bikes that rip. This bike rips. The frame is Kawasaki's distinctive aluminum monocoque, stiff, compact, and designed to wrap tightly around the engine. Up front, a 43mm inverted cartridge fork offers adjustable preload with 18-way compression and 15-way rebound. Travel is about 4.6 inches. Out back, a bottom-link Unitrack gas-charged shock with adjustable preload, stepless rebound, and compression damping, and even adjustable ride height offers around 4.9 inches of travel. It's a serious big bike setup, planted, stable, and built to manage enormous straight-line thrust without giving up cornering composure. Braking hardware is premium for this class, dual 310mm semi-floating Brembo front discs and radial M50 monoblock calipers plus ABS. At the rear, you'll find a 250mm disc with a 2-piston caliper. With stainless braided line standard, lever feel is immediate and firm, which matters when you're hauling down a heavyweight sport machine from triple-digit speeds. Not that I would do that, of course. On the road, that translates into stability. At highway speeds, the weight actually works in your favor. The bike feels planted in sweepers. It holds a line with confidence. Sure, it's not as flickable as a 600, and corners require a little more planning, but for a machine of this size, it's surprisingly composed. Traction and power management are simple and effective. You get Kawasaki traction control with 3 levels of intervention, as well as off, plus 2 power modes, full and low. Low trims output to roughly 75% with softened throttle delivery for low grip or rain conditions. A back torque limiting slipper clutch helps keep the rear settled under aggressive downshifts. No cornucopia of ride modes here, just straightforward tools that match the ZX-14R's mission, harnessing big power without dulling its personality. Here's where the ZX-14R really surprised me. Despite the super sport looks, the ergonomics are actually comfortable. At a 31.5-inch seat height, it's easy to throw a leg over. The seat is wide and supportive, it distributes your weight evenly, the reach to the bars is not punishing, and the pegs are set low enough that I didn't feel cramped. I rode it for hours and it was cushy. It's why so many owners call it the ultimate gentleman's express, a bike that can dominate the drag strip, hence its pet name, the king of the quarter mile. And it will eat up highway miles without eating your butt. That did not come out right, but we're moving on. At 6'1" and 218 pounds, I felt this bike was the right size for me. Now my height and weight are not excessive, but I did feel too big for many of my past bikes, such as my Monster 950, my MV Agusta Brutale 1000 RS, and my Moto Guzzi V7 Carbon Dark, to name a few. I do not have that problem on the ZX-14R. It's big, it's bold, and it's bad. As isn't good. Throttle response is tractable off the bottom, but once you reach the mid-range, it surges with relentless acceleration that few production bikes can match without forced induction. The twin counterbalancers keep the big four smooth, even at highway speeds, so the power doesn't fatigue you. The long wheelbase and monocoque stiffness give a confident straight line feel, and the suspension tuning keeps it stable through fast sweepers, without the harshness you might expect from a heavy hitter like this. The Brembo setup is the best kind of insurance your money can buy: consistent bite, predictable ABS intervention, and heat resistance for aggressive riding. For day-to-day use, the ergos avoid the punishing crouch, meaning you can actually use all that power without sacrificing your spine. And by the way, at highway speeds, the wind didn't even enter my mind the whole time. The brakes back up that power with consistent, predictable stopping power, and the suspension, while firm, never felt harsh. The ZX-14R is a bike that demands respect and gets a lot of looks of approval, but it truly rewards you with one of the most intoxicating riding experiences out there. The MSRP for this 2024 anniversary edition sits at $17,249 before fees and taxes, which is truly a bargain for the power and experience you get here. But ultimately, if you're looking for a bike that can be summed up as excess done right, I recommend picking up this bike because it's one of the last of a dying breed of thoroughbred. With stricter and stricter wimpy Euro emission standards, this old school big boy bike will soon be a thing of the past. The price is great for what you get. Yeah, it doesn't have a fancy TFT display or some of the other modern trinkets, but it is a lot of bike for the buck, and you'd be hard pressed to find anything like it. It's been around forever, there's a massive aftermarket, and you can always get reasonable Japanese parts. Not that you'd need them, because this thing is solid. After riding my friends, I truly want to buy one of these now, and that's the best endorsement I can give this bike. As always, we keep it real here. Pros and cons. Pros: legendary big bore acceleration, premium Brembo braking with braided lines, surprisingly comfy ergos, simple effective traction and power modes, and iconic anniversary livery. Cons: big size and weight demand respect at low speeds, yet I never felt it was too heavy for me, so this is kind of a pro. I love the size of this bike, and really the only other con is the electronics are not as cutting edge by 2025 standards. You get real gauges and an LCD screen circa 2010, but for this price, I'm fine with that. So what's the verdict? In a world pivoting to smaller, tech-laden machines, the 14R remains gloriously unapologetic. Massive power, real-world comfort, and brakes that can cash the checks the engine writes. If you want the last word in naturally aspirated ninja muscle and wrapped up in a livery that nods to where it all began, this is the one to own. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and always remember the motto: bark less, wag more, and always be kinder than necessary.